What's going on, YouTubers? Today I want to show you my Galaxy S3 top 5 / most used apps. Alright, now the first app is more for manga readers and anime watchers, is Manga Watcher. And I use this app pretty much on a weekly basis. About every 2 to 4 days of the mangas that I read, this app will notify me of a new chapter, and that's pretty much the main reason I use it for. It kind of got like the bookcase kind of, library style, and I have it set to where every time a new chapter is updated, the app will notify me in a notification bar up top here. And I pretty much just, you can favorite all your favorite mangas, and you can sync it between multiple devices. So I would show you how it works on my Nexus 7, but it's currently dead right now. So basically, if it syncs and I read a chapter on this app, it'll basically forward what I did on my Galaxy S3 to any other Android device in the cloud with this app. So this is a pretty sweet app. It's called Manga Watcher, and it is one of my most used apps in my top 5 list. Now, moving along, we're gonna go to Popcorn Player. Now, this application here is very odd, I would have to say, because right now the developer says it's going through some issues, even though it still made my top 5 app, and it kind of goes in conjunction with my number 4 app, which is a YouTube player. I'll get to that a little later on. But the whole idea for Popcorn Player is, let's say when I go to a YouTube video and I just want to listen to the audio. Alright, YouTube on Android doesn't allow that, and I will get into that shortly. I have to wait for the 30-second ad to go by. Sorry if my focusing skills suck. Now, I would just hit share, then I would hit Popcorn Player, and a little window will pop up just like how the videos work in TouchWiz and on the Galaxy S3. And basically it'll allow the video to play while the screen is locked. Now, it's not going to work right now, and I hit the developer up and ask him what's going on. He currently he wrote a note in the description box in the Google Play Store saying that he's having some problems with YouTube and he's currently working on it. But the whole idea behind this app is basically once the video loads, you can hear it, you can resize it, you can pretty much minimize it, and you can have it to any size you would like. Let me see if I can get it to work here. All right, that's smaller. My fingers is too big. That's bigger. And then once you lock it, the audio will continue to play. So YouTube, mostly I listen to a lot of audio, like news, alternative news, or what's going on. And I don't necessarily want to burn the extra, burn the extra battery of my screen, but also want to stream it. Now, I could save the video and play it that way, but that's my preferred method of doing it. And it still made my top 5 list when the app is working properly. So we're gonna go ahead and X that out, because the video is not going to play. So hopefully the developer will get that fixed very soon. And number 3 is Beyond Podcast. Now, as Google, in my previous Galaxy Nexus top 10 video, I had put my favorite podcatcher was Google Listen. Now, Beyond Podcast, pretty much Google Listen got phased out. Google wasn't updating it. They weren't doing anything constructive with with Google Listen. So I had to switch over, and I got Beyond Podcast. And this application here is pretty much, the user interface is very intuitive, it's very creative, and it offered a lot more than what Google Listen did, because at least this one, you can basically listen to podcast videos, and the user interface is much more complex. So I would say it's not as simple as Google Listen was, but it pretty much still gets the job done, and the user interface is, I would say, worlds apart. But this is for those who listen to podcasts. This is not for everybody, and this is basically on my top 5 because it's one of the apps I use on a weekly basis almost. But yeah, every time a new podcast from the top 3 podcasts I listen to, maybe Android Essential, and Gadget Mobile, the Cell Phone Junkie, those are pretty much the only three podcasts I listen to. And now my final app would be the YouTube player. Sorry about that phone call. The final app will be the YouTube player. And most of y'all will probably be thinking, why the hell would he add YouTube as an app for one of his top 5? Everybody knows about YouTube Play. Well, I'm going to show you why. YouTube is one of my most used apps, and I'm going to go into my settings, and I'm going to show you why. Now, I'm going to go to my data because I use almost 12 to 13 gigs of data a month. and most of that is coming from YouTube because I am a heavy YouTube user. Right now, I am only 3 gigs of 81, and you know, luckily I was grandfathered in Verizon's unlimited data around the Thunderbolt time, so I'm able to basically use the hell out of my LT without worrying about paying overages or any caps. And the reason why I included YouTube Player is because, you know, recently around the iPhone 5 time, YouTube has updated their app a little bit of, you know, visually update, give you some updates visually, and I really don't like this update. Now, if I could, I really want to uninstall the update and go back to the way the previous was, when you had the tab, when you're on the video view page, you had the tabs where you scroll by. Now they kind of made it where you kind of scroll up and you hit the little more tab to see more videos which you like. Now, I mean, it's no big deal. It pretty much still functions and works the same exact way, but I'm really not digging it. And then I also noticed there's a little bug. Maybe this doesn't happen across all Android devices, but for some weird reason on the Galaxy S3, when I go full screen like this and tilt it to the sideways and sometimes try to go back, it sticks. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens frequently that I just don't like, you know. It's very annoying. So sometimes I have to cut the auto rotation on and off to get it from unsticking. And also, I would like to speak upon one feature that I wish Google would really add. And anybody who's in charge of the YouTube development team for you know, the YouTube Android app, please hear me out on this one. If you see this video, please allow us to listen to audio in the background. I listen to a lot of music through YouTube Player, and I really hate the fact that I have to have the screen on. You know, I can always download my own music, but you know, there's always people putting interesting things on YouTube that you just can't, you know, I'm not gonna just download. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and do that all day. YouTube just really needs to do that. I would really much appreciate it, because that's one feature that the iPhone has that I really wish you would have: locking the phone and continuing the audio to play from YouTube. Now, my final app is not even listed here. It's more like a keyboard app. Now, this app here, I'm gonna go to my Google Play Store. If I can find it, here we go. And it is a Jelly Bean keyboard for the Galaxy S3. Now, I hate Samsung keyboard with a burning passion, and this Jelly Bean keyboard is absolutely perfect. Like, basically, it gives you the same keyboard as it's exactly the same keyboard as Jelly Bean, you know, stock Jelly Bean, and got rid of all the horrible word predicting and the horrible extra characters and all this. You know, it's just a mess if you ask me with the Samsung keyboard. So this pretty much enables me to have Jelly Bean keyboard on my Galaxy S3, making this, you know, it makes it beautiful. I love the Jelly Bean keyboard when I have my Galaxy Nexus, and the Samsung keyboard, it's cool or whatever, but I personally do not like it. The text predictive system sucks, and on this Jelly Bean keyboard it's very excellent, and it's by there's like a bazillion of them. The one I kind of use and know the most is by the developer John Tammy. So, you know, if you're looking for a better keyboard, definitely look for this guy. So basically, those are my top 5 apps for the Galaxy S3. Now, I know this is not a complete unique set, which some people would like to see, but this is the reason I chose these set of apps is because these are the apps I use the most. I use these on a daily basis, like, you know. So there's other pretty unique apps I can pretty much show, but it wouldn't make much sense to show those off because those are not my top 5. So, you know, in the description box, I'm gonna write these down, and I want to hear your top 5 apps for your Galaxy S3, or matter of fact, just your Android device in general. So, you know, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. You know, that helps me grow, and I appreciate the views and feedback all you guys give me. So this is Jay Silva from SNN Tech. I'm out, y'all. Later.